Hi everybody, I'm Jim Shore. Here we are in South Carolina at the house here with my daughter and sidekick Robin.
Hi everyone.
And we're doing something very special today. You know, this is a time of the year when we're heading towards the seasons, and Halloween is right just around the corner, and then hot on the heels of that is Thanksgiving, and then pretty soon we go into Christmas and the New Year's, and everything starts all over again, fresh from the start. So what we're doing is we're doing what we call a virtual signing. Now I've been signing all over the world lately in person for the first time since 2019 when we were interrupted because of the effects of COVID, and everybody had to deal with that, and we did too. And we did a lot of virtual signings, and we did Skype, and we did Zoom, and all that sort of thing. And we think that this is a really good way, an alternate way, to make sure that we get out to all of you, anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to see us in person, whether you're in Washington State or Washington D.C. or any point in between. We're here for you to show you I think some premium pieces.
And yes, very large selection this time.
We have a huge collection this time. And what we'll do, and Robin will, since she's the brains of the operation, will fill you in on all of the details. But we'll have each and every one of these pieces signed for you. And so Robin, take it away and let them know what the specs of all this is.
Just like normal, if you're on Facebook, you can click the link, or you can go to jimshore.com and see the selection that Jim will be signing for you, and pick all of them if you want, or just a few, but don't wait, because it is while supplies last, and you know they run out. And it is 3 weeks delivery, and there is a little more than what we're showing here too, so really go check it out and see. There's something for everyone.
And that'll all be posted, right?
Yep.
All of the elements, even the ones that they don't see here today?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see it, and it'll be obvious when you
go these are a lot of the pieces. Some of them are brand new, and some of them we've brought back for more than one season because they're so popular and they fit the season so well. You know, a lot of these pieces are great for gifts. They're I think the price points sure make them attractive if that's an issue. Some of the pieces are smaller, and some of the pieces are these larger pieces that are good centerpieces or good things to decorate with. Some of them are even things that, even though they might have a little bit of a seasonal aspect to them, pieces that as art pieces you could leave out conceivably all year round.
Yes. Well, I love that we have such a big selection of Disney. Everybody loves the Disney, and there's so many good pieces. This, I think, is my favorite because I don't know that the last time you did a calendar like that.
Yeah, that's true. It's been a while. This is one of the unique pieces. It's got that kind of a sort of a retro look. It's an earlier phase of the iteration of Mickey and Minnie, and it's earlier, and the whole thing has that kind of a old-fashioned flavor, so I think it goes really well.
Everyone needs a countdown to Christmas.
Absolutely, and this is something that the kids will be involved with. You can take these blocks out, and you have to turn them around, and every combination it'll give you what the next day is. So that's something for the kids to find out. And also, a lot of the pieces that I do are completely covered with designs. Okay. And I'll be signing this probably on the top. That's where I normally sign it. However, there is a space in the back, and it's completely blank. And now that's not done by accident. That's done so that you can yourself take a Sharpie or whatever, or a paint pen or whatever you prefer, and write something in here relevant to the season. Something significant that you want to remember, or you can write a little something, next year write a little something else, and keep it going so that it becomes part of your written history of your family tradition. And I think that's a really unique and interesting thing to do. You could cover all of this thing with those sort of memories, and it becomes just an heirloom piece that you can pass down for generations. Will enjoy reading those sort of comments. So that's the point of this thing right here.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we have this piece. Another one of my favorites, Belle, Beauty and the Beast was always one of my favorite movies.
Well, that's exactly right. And we've got a couple of pieces that are are from this you know, this story or this movie, and it's one of our favorites too. You know, we've actually had some of the smaller pieces. People have used them as cake toppers in their wedding.
Oh yes,
you know?
that's perfect.
And when I'm thinking, okay, Beauty and the Beast, okay, I would say no more. So it's up to them to fight that out.
He's a really pretty man when you know she breaks the spell. So
Exactly. Yeah. All she has to do is kiss him, and boom.
yeah.
Okay, now as far as Disney is concerned, yes, we have a lot of pieces here that are Disney, and we have some other pieces that are actually that don't have anything to do with a theme like that. But most of them have something to do with either the Grinch or
Rudolph,
Stitch,
Peanuts.
Rudolph, Peanuts. You know, Peanuts is a really good subject for the seasons, because I think the TV show, you know, showing what they're doing during the holidays is something that has become kind of a tradition, certainly in our household and households all over the place. And you know, it's one of those things where, well, I'll give you a little side note. A few months ago, I was asked to do this keynote speech at Beagle Fest.
Yes. Did you ever think you'd be speaking at Beagle Fest?
Never in a million years would I have guessed that. But you know, I went up there. Took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I know that a lot of you probably that are watching, watching us today, you know, may have taken part in that, because let me tell you something. For Peanuts enthusiasts, that was like Mecca, you know, because there were hundreds of people that were just so enthusiastic over that subject, and they call it Beagle Fest because Snoopy is a beagle, and it was really interesting to see everyone's take on what Peanuts represents, you know, and it's more than just a entertaining comic. It's kind of a narrative on the human condition.
It is.
And there's a lot of psychology involved in it, you know, and everything. So it's something that's really stuck with a lot of people, and it's part of Americana now, you know. So we've got several pieces of that, and so if you like that subject,
yes,
and who doesn't, you know,
lots of good options.
Those are good pieces to collect.
Yeah.
We've got one piece that's got
I like this one. This is
kind of
cool.
it's sort of a pajama party kind of thing.
Yes, everyone needs that.
Okay, so and then another character, frankly, that I think this surprised me probably as much as anything we've ever done, and that is this character right here. Stitch. Now, when I was asked to do Stitch, I thought, well, of course I know the character because of the kids, you know, liking it and having the movies and stuff like that. But I didn't know he's kind of an obscure character in a way compared to some of the other characters. And I thought, well, I'll certainly do it, you know, but I wasn't sure about how many other people would share our, you know, enthusiasm for the character. So we did a couple of pieces and put them on the market, and it was overwhelming. The people that it was like a subculture that gravitate to this unusual and distinctive character, you know. And we've tried to do it in a number of different ways, you know, whimsical and you know.
This one's fun.
This one's a lot of fun. This one rotates like that.
Yeah, kids will like that.
Yeah, you turn it on and away it goes.
Yeah.
But so what we try to do on pieces like this, including Rudolph, whether we're doing Rudolph or whether we're doing the Grinch or whether we're doing Peanuts or whatever, if those are specific characters, whether they're Disney characters or Rudolph or the other ones, we try to be absolutely faithful to the character first and foremost, and you know, put the expressions and that sort of thing that you would expect to see, so that it's immediately recognizable as the piece first. Then you can look at it and say, oh yeah, that's Jim Shore's take on it. You know, he's decorated by Jim Shore. So that's the way we try to do it, so that everybody who loves the character, you know, will the personality of the character is certainly not lost.
Yes. You were speaking of how different Stitch is, and who knew it would be such a big thing. I mean, The Nightmare Before Christmas, when that movie came out, was so strange, but it just drew you in.
Yeah.
You have to love it. I don't know what it was about it.
Well, Tim Burton has just a distinctive style.
Yes.
And it's immediately recognizable. And when he takes on a subject, it just becomes this, I don't know, this surreal, you know, sort of almost dreamlike thing. And some of it's some of it's funny, and some of it's spooky, and some of it's a combination of that. And I think there's no better example than The Nightmare Before
Yes.
Christmas, and we've done a number of pieces around that subject. And it's an ongoing project too. So if you are a collector of that type of subject, we've got plenty in store for you, and plenty more on the way. So that's one thing that we'll be fleshing out for probably a long time to come. Mm-hmm. So that's a good piece.
Now, this one is, I mean, that's a showstopper right there.
That's once again, that's one of these pieces that you could leave out all year round. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the pieces that I've done, and I've done several on this sort of styling where there's sort of two sides to this thing, you know. And I've done some Halloween pieces, and I've done some Christmas pieces and so forth, and some story pieces like this. This, of course, is Snow White and the dwarfs, with the diorama in the background in bas-relief, showing the cottage and the witch and some of the elements of the story, including the evil queen is back there. So they're all there. But now you turn it around to the front, and this is one thing I think that's unique about this particular piece. This is almost a decor piece right here for decorating and that sort of thing, and it has one sort of flavor as far as the styling of it or the mental imagery of it. And it's so different from the contrast of the high detail of the story part of this right here. So I think as a piece that tells a story, it's a unique piece. You could put this on a rotator or put it in front of a mirror. You know, a lot of people do that where you can see maybe this part of it, you know, it shows out into the room, and then you can peek behind it. You can see what's going on. It makes a very unique statement. And then we've got so many pieces that coordinate with that, that if you wanted to stretch that out using this as a centerpiece and then decorate on a mantle or a coffee table or on your dinner table during the holidays and so forth, you know, it's an easy piece to put with another, you know, element or put elements around it, even like ornaments and greenery, and you could other apples, you know. Stay away from the poison ones, but
please.
But anyway, it's a piece that we're proud of.
Well, we can't not talk about Rudolph. And I mean,
Rudolph.
These pieces are so cute.
Rudolph was actually the second co-brand that we did in the when I started the Heartwood Creek collection so very many years ago. And some of you have been with us the whole time. You know, that was something, Robin, that I found very gratifying about doing some of these signings recently. A lot of the people that showed up have been with us year after year after year from the very beginning.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And there are people in line that I signed years and years ago for women holding their babies.
No.
And now I'm signing
for
for those
grown.
babies
Holding
their babies.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's really gratifying,
That
you know,
is
to have
sweet.
that kind of appreciation for what we do.
What carries on. That's
and
nice.
And it makes me feel particularly proud when it's done within a family, you know, when it becomes a family thing, because what we can then think about is, and when we think about you all, and we do every day when we're creating this stuff and when we're dealing with this stuff, because you're the ones we're doing it for, you know. And when we think of it and we know that we are a part of your family tradition, we find that we find that very heartwarming, and I know Robin will agree with me.
Yes.
Now,
that's so
a
nice.
piece like this too. Now, here's something you can do with this. This is something that we've done, and I think it's a unique thing to do. This, of course, is the red pickup, and I've done it a lot of different ways and a lot of different versions. And this one, of course, is with sort of like young Rudolph, and you've got Clarice and some of the misfit toys and that sort of thing, and then Santa's driving it, and then it's decorated the way we always do. But now rather than carve this out, the cab out, so that you would see an interior of the cab, what we recommend you do is cut out photographs of your kids.
Riding with Santa.
Or your pets, or whatever's dear to you, and just stick them right on there, and you can pile them up year after year after year, and it's ever changing, and it always says something specific about your family. And once again, you can write some something endearing on the bottom for your memories, and it's just one of those things that becomes part of the part of the seasonal tradition. You pull it out, and it's something that always speaks to Christmas in your household.
Yes, that's very neat.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I like it too. I thought it was clever.
I like how
I
you.
get clever every once in a while.
I mean, I hope so. This is a lot of ideas
it's part
here.
of it's part of the job description, I think.
I like how you've used the clear resin on this piece. You have it on some of those pieces.
I think that's
again something unique.
I agree, because it actually lends itself to giving an air of authenticity, I guess you might say, or realism to it. While these things are obviously have a whimsical aspect to them, because it's the claymation or the cartoon version of it and everything. But when you have something like that where you can actually see into this, as if you're looking into the ice that he's skating on, or the in this case with Aladdin, the almost amber looking effects of the clear resin on the main icon of the story, which is the Aladdin's lamp. It just adds so much to the to the beauty and the uniqueness of the piece, and how our approach to it is. And you've got, because you've got the main characters here, and then you've got this fairly detailed scene even on the base. So we don't neglect any aspect of it if we think that it's germane to the story, and it adds to the piece, which I think that does.
Yes.
So I'm really happy with that one.
Well, let me remind you, in case you're just joining us, we're doing the virtual signing, and this starts between now and midnight tonight, and Jim will sign on the pieces. It is while supplies last, so don't wait. Go grab it. You can click right here on Facebook or go over to jimshore.com and see the video, and please allow 3 weeks for delivery.
So from now until midnight.
Midnight.
So you got plenty of time.
You got to stay up late, or wherever you're at. Maybe you're not, but you got time.
Yeah, you have plenty of time to view everything, make your choices, and see what you think.
So here's some more co-brands, which we love dearly.
Okay.
The Grinch and Willy Wonka. It's just fun co-brands that you can get these pieces, and Jim will sign them.
That's one of the things I think about the line that is, the line's been popular for a long time, and that's kind of unusual in the gift industry, to have a single line that is sustained for, a couple of years, or in our case, a couple of decades. And we're awfully gratified about that, because most of the things that are designed for the gift industry are what they call an in and out. They put it in the line, it sells for a season or two, and then it's on to something else. Well, in our case with this line, it has gone on and on and on and on, because it started with Heartwood Creek, which was the sort of a folk art version of some of the images that I like, the Santa Clauses, the angels, the snowmen, the nativities, and all that kind of stuff. And it goes on and on beyond that. Cats and folk art animals and lighthouses, and it goes on and on. However, I think an interesting aspect that went on beyond, or as an offshoot of that, or because of the popularity of that, we got into being invited to do co-branding. And that's been such a big and interesting part of what we do, because there's so many different stories, whether it's the Grinch, or whether it's all the Disney pieces, or the Disney princesses, and like the Willy Wonka piece here, and it just goes all over the place. We've got M&M and Crayola, and now we're working on Hello Kitty, and we just got permission to start on Harry Potter, and so
it's exciting.
It is exciting. It's interesting. It keeps us, keeps us motivated and inspired, and it's interesting for us at doing the creative part of this thing, to keep us, as artistically engaged. Right. But it also makes it so that we're creating something that is of interest, either in subject or in style, or however we approach it. Whether it's the sort of primitive look of the crude folk art, or it's all the way up to the elegance of of some of our more detailed pieces, like the Victorian and that sort of thing. So or the white woodland, where we've done a departure for our normal color styling into these neutrals and everything, but all of it centers around the motif designs that we do and the things that are so, you know, that are sort of, I don't know, that define the way we, you know, our artistic approach. So everything is cohesive, even though it is, you know, different subjects and everything. You can put it all together and it still works.
Yes. Well, you got lots to choose from if you love movies, TV, stories, Disney. I mean, you got Elf. Everybody loves that movie. Grinch, who hasn't seen that? Willy Wonka. I mean, really great stuff to choose from.
Yeah, if you're a collector or if you just want something that's an interesting gift, trust me, in the signings I have noted that we have very enthusiastic grandmothers and very enthusiastic granddaughters and grandsons and husbands and wives that do this stuff together and best friends that share this. And it's heartwarming to see the way these things are you know, shared, you know,
Right.
among family and friends.
Well, go online and check it out. Again, there is lots to see. So we are going to move on into the Heartwood Creek because we definitely need some stuff for Christmas coming up and all the holidays. So again, go to jimshore.com if you're, or click the link on Facebook and you'll see all the selection. But these Santas and gnomes are really good pieces.
Well, what it is that, you know, I started out with the licensing of Heartwood Creek, and that was purely my own sort of invention, my version or my way of you know, expressing myself in these different subjects. And once again, the subjects are, you know, go all over the place. But started out with Santa Clauses, and so we do a lot of that. Particularly the seasonal pieces that center around, you know, Christmas and some of the major holidays, and as well as some other things like we're seeing right here. This is a cardinal and a chickadee, and so we do pieces like that. Cardinals are a subject that has special meaning to so many pieces, but then we also have a piece like this. Now, this is one of my favorite pieces. This is actually a sort of a Victorian version of Santa, and if you'll look and see the extreme detail of even though it's tone on tone, it is extremely effective as a visual texture of this almost Morris-like design work back here. And then the front of it, while it has the poinsettias and that sort of thing, it's got black trim, dark trim. That was something that was actually more accurate during the Victorian era depicting Santa Claus than later, when we sort of adopted the Thomas Nast version of Santa, which has become sort of we call it the Coca-Cola Santa, you know, the red and white and the fat and jolly.
He does look like that.
Exactly. So this one is a good one to collect if you like the nostalgia of the Victorian era. And
well, this is different.
I like it. It's one of my,
A Christmas basket.
Talking about difference, this is something that I've done year after year after year for so many years in so many different seasons, and it's probably one of the most challenging things I do because also within the piece it's got these little ornament pieces that you can see, and they're meant to be used as real ornaments, or you can use them as things to decorate, you know, around the piece. If you use this as a centerpiece, then you can use them around. Then you can fill this with candy or with potpourri or with trail mix, or don't confuse the two. But
I'm sure that has happened many times.
Potpourri is high in fiber, but
it doesn't taste very good, I'm assuming.
Right. Anyway, that's something. If you can use this as, imagine this as just in your on your dining table, for example, for the Christmas meal. If that's in the center with ornaments in there, and then ornaments around it, and these pieces, and you know, other Santas and snowmen, and if you had this, you know, this guy up there with it, and maybe this guy too, and then stretch that out with ornaments and with tinsel and with greenery and with pine cones and that kind of stuff, it becomes an absolutely beautiful thing. And I know that for a fact because we do that. When we decorate like crazy around here during Christmas, and everybody knows, you know, that we put up 12 trees and we
Lots
we
of
decorate
trees.
everything. In fact, I stay on the move during that period so that I don't, because anything that's not moving gets decorated.
You never know where a tinsel's going to land.
Yeah, you don't nap around here during during decoration time.
Well, I love that there's just such a broad selection. You got your Santas, soldiers, and then Santa and a swan.
Yeah, so there's whimsy to it too, you know,
Yes.
and you've got things like the toy soldier, you know, that's just a beautifully executed, iconic piece, but it is not just a simple soldier. Look at the detail on it. I mean, and I'll tell you something like that. Something like this is a absolutely grand project to work on because every aspect of it is thought out and covered, as you can see. And the design work on this is actually more affected, or I guess inspired, you might say, by some of the metal engraving that I do. So it's that kind of look.
The detail on that piece is
and
really good.
It really is. And then you've got these sort of rhinestone things, appointments to it, and it's a gorgeous piece.
Yes.
I like it. So
Well,
if you like that sort of thing, that's the perfect one.
Yes.
And
So yeah, if you like the gnomes, we got some gnomes. Of course, you can't leave out gnomes.
we've got gnomes. You know, we've done gnomes. The gnomes were very simple to begin with. You know, sort of a kind of an upside down
there's a
ice
big
cream
gnome.
cone with a nose. And
Is this part of the signing? Oh, we got a big giant gnome back here.
okay,
How about that? If you need a
Guess,
gnome,
he was lurking in the background.
he was.
But if you want, if you
Ouch.
like gnomes, we've
There
got
you go.
gnomes
There
now.
you go.
Yeah, this actually, the design work on this is taken from our Nordic Noel collection. So we've got some of the elements that are consistent with the Lapland people of Finland, which prefer to be called the Sami, so that's what we call them. And they do beautiful crewel work and you know, that sort of thing. And in this case, we've got it in reds and whites, and I think it's got some whimsy to it, but it's got some real beauty to it too.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, that's a great piece.
Talk about a centerpiece.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
That's the one.
yeah, that piece you might even want to leave out year round.
Yes, that's a good one.
And then you've got pieces like this too, and see that also has some of that kind of decoration on it. So while they're whimsical and all, they are, I think, artistically they are, I think, pretty well executed. And the detailing, if you can see the detailing of the patterning
Oh,
around
right here even. It's like a
And then-
sweater.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's almost like a knit sweater, and that's all hand done. You know, and I can tell you, it's hand done, and
It's very time consuming.
it's very meticulous, and I think we try to do attention to detail on this stuff, whether it's the type of pattern that I showed you earlier on the Santa, or on this and that kind of stuff, and it's just. Time doesn't mean anything when you're creating these kind of pieces because you're looking for what the end result is going to be. And one thing that we always think about in the studio here, we're not doing this for us. We're doing this for you all. You know, so we know who we're working for, and we take when Dominique, who by the way is on the smart side of the camera,
Yeah.
when she gets suggestions through. Social media and everything. That's how we put these lines together. So the things that you see oftentimes are suggestions, you know, that we create directly from you all. So we're so proud to be a part of your family experience, and you know we're together. We might be apart distance-wise, but we're together heart to heart, and that means so much to us.
Yes. Well, and one last thing that I don't want us to forget is the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, that the sculpted piece and the book you're going to be signing.
Right now,
Which is pretty cool.
The thing about this book, that this is totally illustrated. This was really just a wonderful project that I so enjoyed. Illustrations are like this, for example. This is the part of the story that you know, all through the house not a creature was stirring. Let's see here. Not even a mouse. So it's all like that, illustrated, and I think it's beautifully done.
Yeah, the cover is really beautiful too.
Well, all of it is just one thing after another, verse by verse. Each verse, you know, has its own interpretive illustration. I have to apologize to the young people because, for one thing,
It's in cursive.
it's in cursive.
That's okay.
So children, if you don't know cursive, learn cursive.
Well, parents are generally reading these little Christmas stories to their kids anyway, so
Yep, and
I
so
think we'll be fine.
What I did this as if I were doing a calligraphy project. So it's all done by my hand, and I think it adds to the beauty and sort of the nostalgia of the piece. You know.
Yes.
So this is something that once again, and it'll be signed to you right there. That's where I'll sign it.
Yep.
And if yeah.
Well, if you want to get a signed piece by Jim, you can click the link here on Facebook or go to jimshore.com between now and midnight tonight. 3 weeks for delivery, and don't wait because it will sell out.
And then as soon as we get the list of everything that you all want, I will be on my way to our distribution center, and I will
Sign
spend
away.
whatever time it takes to sign these pieces. And I promise you that I will give you a little bit of time in my mind, and I will give you a legible signature. And when I do a signature, here's the way I think about it when I do a signature, and I promise you. I try to be very neat with my signature. I don't scribble something. And when I'm working on a signature, it doesn't matter that I've just signed maybe hundreds or that I will sign hundreds, because that one piece is going to belong to one person. That might be you. So I am thinking about whoever is going to handle that one piece specifically, and that is at that moment the only signature that's important to me. So I promise you'll get a legible signature on each and every piece, and that's the way I roll.
Well, that's good. I'm sure they
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, go check it out on jimshore.com to see everything that you can get signed.
Okay, and as time goes forward, we'll continue to also doing signings
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah.
So you can check the schedule on that, and if you're
Yeah.
in the area that we're going to be at, drop in. I'd love to see you. Spend a little time, and I like to get to know the people I'm working for.
Yeah.
So I'll see you then.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.